And welcome back to the 10 a.m. shift. I'm your host, Willis Love. And today we got a couple of topics that I want to hit today. Really important topics, especially on WWE. I'm going to kick it right off and start it off right now. Ticket sales for WrestleMania are low. They are so low that they cut the tickets in half. So you can now go to WrestleMania for half the price that they had it at before. Now, is this a problem? Yes and no, right? Low ticket sales are not great. Nobody wants to hear that in no company, but there's a reason for it. Last year, ticket sales were through the roof. The year before, they were through the roof. This year, things are different because there's just not enough stars available for the PLE. It's just not. There's not enough people available, right? Everybody has gotten hurt this year before WrestleMania. So they have to kind of like just make up new storylines on the go and try to insert people into these spotlights that they didn't have no buildup for. Just watching WWE Raw tonight, Bronson Reed just went down with a torn bicep. The plans that they have for him is now screwed. So they have to pivot and put somebody else in that spotlight. AJ Styles retired by Gunther. Another star gone. John Cena had his retirement tour last year. He will not be at WrestleMania. He's gone. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has not been confirmed for WrestleMania. He's out. So the biggest stars on the card right now that you have is CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Now, Brock Lesnar is announced for the card, but he just issued an open challenge to anyone in the back, which we all thought Obafemi was going to come out and take the challenge, but for some reason they're like stringing us along to make us think it's going to be somebody else. And that would be such a wrong move for WWE to do right now. That'd be crazy. So, they did a tribute to AJ Styles tonight, which I thought was fantastic. Like, he deserves all the flowers. He's such a great talent and a phenomenal athlete. I still think he has some left in the tank, but I understand why he wants to retire. Undertaker came out, announced that he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. So that was elite. Never seen that before. So shout out to Undertaker doing that for AJ Styles. Gunther came out in the beginning of the show and he starts trashing AJ Styles like, oh, I beat him, this, that, and the third. So, we understand that's part of his character. So that was great. But overall, the show itself was very lackluster, in my opinion. It was filled with a lot of just empty promos about what you're gonna do at Elimination Chamber and Liv Morgan picking Stephanie, who we all knew she was gonna pick her in the first place. They didn't really have to drag that out. So that was just weird for them to do. I'm really concerned about the creative direction this year. Roman Reigns said it on a podcast earlier this year when they asked him if he was ready, to come back. And he said yes, because he felt like creatives have been lackluster, like getting the new guys over. So I understand Roman's concern because you can see it, right? And a lot of things are happening health-wise too. So it's not really just all creative. A lot of people are getting hurt too. So you got to give them credit on that. But to Roman's point, like when he had the title as a part-timer for 4 years, they were dominating the ratings, right? So there's something in there that needs to be said. So I'm very worried about WrestleMania this year. I'm curious about how it's going to turn out, honestly, right? Because we got our main event, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. To me, that's a good main event. That's great. Now we're trying to figure out all the other people. So we'll see how that turns out. But ticket sales have been low, so that is very iffy. Moving on to the NBA. Last night, I watched the Lakers and the Celtics, and the calls that were missed in that game were horrific. I cannot believe all the calls they missed on both sides. Both sides. Clear goaltends, clear fouls, clear push-offs. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, a high school ref could have called this game, and it would have just been fine. So the NBA has officially suspended Scott Foster because he missed a lot of goaltends in that game, which is great. They're showing that they're holding people accountable and stuff like that. But it's unacceptable at this level. You have challenges, reviews, and everything. You could look at these plays and really get the calls right on both sides. Like, I could understand the Lakers' frustrations, even though they really just got cooked. Like, you can't blame them for all the calls for them getting cooked because their defense is just horrible, right? They've been struggling on defense for a long time. And, I don't really like bashing people, but DeAndre Ayton has to do better as a defensive anchor for that team, right? He doesn't have to score 25 points. Like, he's not Shaquille O'Neal, but I would love to see him be better defensively and be a better rebounder for that team. To me, it just seems like he's just out of sync with the team. I don't think that he's not capable. It's just that I don't think he understands his role, maybe. So that could be something with the front office that they need to talk to him about, before letting him walk next season. You know how that goes. So, and again, the big three, right? Reeves, LeBron, and Luka still don't have enough games under their belt to see who's 1A, 1B, 1C, right? The media will have you think it's Luka and Reeves, and then LeBron is the third option. But sometimes in the game, LeBron be looking like the first option still at 41. So it's a little iffy with that team. They got to get that team together. They got to get that chemistry together. They got to get some more games under their belt. LeBron said their biggest thing was health. So now they're all three healthy. So let's see how it turns out, because last night, it's like they couldn't get it going. So there was a lot of talk about Jason Tatum coming back this season after the season that Jaylen Brown is having so far. I don't know if that's the best idea for him. He should not rush the process to come back. Let Jaylen Brown cook. Let him cook, right? Jason Tatum, take all the time you need, man. Take all the time you need, bro. The Celtics are not in dire need of you coming back right now. They're doing great. They're winning games. They're at the top of the Eastern standards right now. They're right behind Detroit, and Cleveland. So they're doing pretty good. I don't think you should rush to get back. I think you should take your time and fully heal and then come back. At the end of the day, you're only making the team better. If you come back and you get hurt, that's going to be a big blow to the team again. And I just don't think that's what they need right now. Their confidence is going up. If you come back and get hurt, it's going to demolish that confidence and bring them all the way back down. So, I mean, in a perfect world, if he comes back and everything goes back to the way it was and they start clicking again, they get back to the finals, that's cool. But I'm just being a little bit more realistic with an injury of that magnitude. Like, you should take your time and fully heal. So definitely, Jason Tatum, I hope you get a speedy recovery, brother, because you are needed in the NBA. But just take your time, bro. Like, we miss you, but take your time. In other news, Marvel and DC news. So Marvel, I just did a video on this. If you guys are following me on Instagram and TikTok, you will see I did a video about Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's going to be more of a emotional film, drama filled, and it's going to be more serious tone. And I am excited for that. I love when Marvel takes a more serious approach to these films. Like, when you seen Infinity War, it has some comedic relief, but it was a serious tone because Thanos was a serious villain. Same thing with Endgame. The whole movie was so serious because it was like, yo, we lost. We need to get back to what we were doing. How can we save all these people? How can we bring them back? So Brand New Day, I love the direction they're taking. Like, it's a more serious tone. Spider-Man is trying to figure out who he is without Tony Stark, without MJ, without Ned, without his peers around him, right? Peter Parker is not known by anybody, right? So how do you navigate with all of these heroes that know who Spider-Man is, but they don't know who Peter Parker is? So that's an interesting dynamic that they have to pull off on film. Then you have the Punisher in the movie, who's one of the most brutal Marvel characters of all time. And then you have the Hulk in the movie, right? You got Sadie Sink in the movie. You got all of these people in the movie. So I'm excited to see how they're going to pull this off, because Spider-Man is one of their best franchises. And for them to take a serious tone with the movie, I'm excited. I want to see it. If you guys are excited to see Spider-Man, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And let me know if you're ready to see Spider-Man, because I'm ready. Now, in DC news, there was a report that came out to Warner Brothers that James Gunn has laid out his future plan for the DC universe. Now, again, right? I love DC. I love Marvel. They both can exist in the same world. We don't have to argue about this, right? This is not Snyder fans or nothing like that. Even though I love Snyder's vision, it's not about Snyder and all that stuff. It's about bringing these heroes' stories to life in continuity, right? In the same universe. Right. So my concern, right, is can they do it correctly? Now, what I mean by that is not can they do it like Marvel, right? We seen Marvel. We seen that already. Can you do it unique enough that people will care and understand what you're trying to do, right? Like, can you portray Superman and Batman in a real universe to where it translates to us and it makes sense. Because DC has that deep fantasy element of like secret identities and like guys are not working, but they're being heroes, but they're still millionaires. It's like they have to try to make that make sense for everybody, right? Like a question I have is like, why is Robert Pattinson the Batman, but he's not in the continuity? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you giving us another Batman to fill that role? Because Matt Reeves doesn't want his Batman in that continuity. I get it, but like that doesn't make sense. Like we don't need two different Batmans, right? Like unless you guys are doing like a Crisis on Infinite Earth kind of thing, that makes sense. But we don't need two different Batmans. That's just weird already off the jump. Now, it was a great start with the Superman movie. I liked it. I thought it was a great movie. I love how they introduced the Justice team. They're not calling them Justice League yet, but the Justice team. I thought Mr. Terrific was great. And I thought Hawk Girl and everybody else was good. I think the casting was good. So I love what they're doing already. So I'm excited to see how they're going to bring this continuity to life. How they're going to make this universe. Because right now, low key, Nintendo's doing their own universe. And it's looking like it's about to be something really, really big. So I hope DC has that same type of energy and they build a great universe. Because I'm excited. I want to see the Justice League in a real good movie. Like a good universe to where it spans across 5-6 movies. So that way we'll have our butts in the seats in the theaters. So if you guys are ready to see a good Justice League DC movie, comment down below. Let me know what you're most excited for. And I'll try my best to answer all you guys because the comments lately have been getting crazy on TikTok, especially on TikTok with these debate posts, especially with the tweets about LeBron. You guys hate LeBron for some reason. It's been like that for years. And especially with Angel Reese, don't even get me started on that. You guys have been super toxic on those posts, but I respect it. I'll try my best to answer all of you guys. So make sure you guys keep it locked in at 10 a.m. shift. I'm your host, Willis Love, and that's it for this one.